After 2 rounds of being mauled by the veteran fighter Roxanne Modafferi, flyweight prospect Maycee Barber summoned a ringside doctor to examine her wobbly left knee and determine whether she could continue. Diagnosis: ambiguity. She's got a small partial ACL tear. She's fine, the doctor told the referee before the start of the 3rd round, referring to her anterior cruciate ligament. The fight continued, and so did Modafferi's dominance. According to sportsbooks, Modafferi, a 37-year-old Las Vegas resident, was the biggest underdog on the card, as much as 6-1 in some casinos. But she used well-timed punches and savvy grappling to earn her 24th professional win. Barber left the octagon with a bloody gash near her hairline, and her first loss in 9 pro bouts. The scores from the judges were 30-27, 30-27 and 30-26. After the opening bell, Andre Fili of Sacramento, California, greeted his opponent, Sodiq Yusuff, with a raised hand, looking for a sportsmanlike touching of gloves. Yusuff, a rising contender from Camp Spring, MD, responded with a front kick that missed Fili's face by what looked like an inch. From there, the two featherweights spent 3 rounds trading punches. Yusuff landed more powerful ones and takedowns. Fili brought Yusuff to the canvas more often, but Yusuff's takedowns were more authoritative. The bout ended in a workmanlike win for the 26-year-old Yusuff, with all 3 judges scoring it 29-28, 2 rounds to 1. Russian flyweight Askar Askarov remained undefeated as a pro, with a unanimous decision win over an aggressive Tim Elliott. Askarov dropped Elliott with a crisp left hand in the first round, but spent much of the second on his back thanks to judo-style hip tosses from Elliott, a 33-year-old from Lee's Summit. Mo Askarov retreated for much of round 3 but landed enough punches to win the fight. The judges' scores were 29-28, 30-27 and 30-27. That didn't take long. Nasrat Haqparast saw an opening for a leg kick, so he threw one. But Drew Dober, a densely muscled southpaw, saw a bigger opening for an overhand left. Their blows landed simultaneously, but Dober's did damage. Haqparast hit the mat and Dober pummeled him with punches and elbows until the referee stopped the bout. It took 70 seconds and was, according to betting odds, an upset. "I will knock anyone out in the division, I promise," Dober said in the ring afterward. Here is a list of the bouts in chronological order. The 5-round main event will likely happen after midnight Eastern. The rest of the fights before then are scheduled for 3 rounds each. Preliminary card: Drew Dober vs Nasrat Haqparast, lightweight. Tim Elliott vs Askar Askarov, flyweight. Andre Fili vs Sodiq Yusuff, featherweight. Roxanne Modafferi vs Maycee Barber, flyweight. Main card: Anthony Pettis vs Diego Ferreira, lightweight. Brian Kelleher vs Ode Osborne, bantamweight. Alexei Oleinik vs Maurice Green, heavyweight. Holly Holm vs Raquel Pennington, bantamweight co-main event. Conor McGregor vs Donald Cerrone, welterweight main event. The 15-month span between McGregor's loss to Nurmagomedov and Saturday night's fight with Cerrone is the second longest layoff of McGregor's mixed martial arts career, and it's not clear how the time off might affect his skills in the octagon. McGregor spent nearly 2 years away from the octagon before he lost to Nurmagomedov, a period that included his big-money boxing match with Mayweather. The time off might have contributed to the loss, but the undefeated Nurmagomedov was a difficult opponent for McGregor no matter what. Cerrone, in contrast, has been one of the UFC's busiest athletes. He competed 4 times in 2019 alone, winning twice and losing twice. McGregor is a former featherweight and lightweight champion, but Saturday's bout will take place in the welterweight division, where the 170-pound weight limit could favor the taller Cerrone. McGregor has spent the vast majority of his career competing in the 145 and 155-pound divisions, and has only competed twice as a welterweight. In March 2016 he lost by submission to Nick Diaz, and 5 months later he defeated Diaz by submission. Cerrone fought exclusively as welterweight for more than 2 years, winning 6 fights and losing 4 between February 2016 and November 2018. But all of his bouts in 2019 took place in the 155-pound class. Conor McGregor, the Ultimate Fighting Championship's biggest star, is finally back in the octagon after a 15-month absence. More than 3 years after losing to the boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a highly popular crossover bout, and after tapping out against Khabib Nurmagomedov in October 2018, McGregor is scheduled to headline UFC 246 on Saturday night. The 31-year-old former champion in 2 weight classes will face Donald Cerrone, a kickboxing specialist from Albuquerque who is known professionally as Cowboy. Leading up to the fight, McGregor has presented himself as mature and focused, still capable of spectacular violence in the octagon, but also promising that the numerous legal problems that derailed his 2019 are behind him. McGregor, despite his absence, is the promotion's best-known fighter. McGregor's fans packed smaller events in Las Vegas leading up to the fight, and this week Reebok announced the release of a new shoe endorsed by McGregor. That a fighter who hasn't won a bout since 2016 can generate this much attention from fans and sponsors highlights McGregor's flair for self-promotion. But he still has to fight.